Hello guys. I want to do a video talking about a show that I just started watching today. It's called Eternal Love, 10 Miles of Peach Blossoms. And the reason I watch it, it's funny. It's like a domino effect. I think last year I started watching this series called Condor Heroes 2017. It's like a remake of this series that I love by Jin Yong. He's this Chinese author. It was really fantastic. I watched all of it and it was so good. And at the end, I was like, you know how when you watch a really good show, you get this feeling like, oh, I just want to watch more of it or watch something just as good. Like it's this feeling like it's like a void that just kind of you feel when you watch a really, really, really good show. And so the only thing I could think of that was that could continue on is the next series in that series. The next series in that series called Return of the Condor Heroes, which is my favorite of the Condor Heroes trilogy, and my favorite version is the 1995 version, starring Lewis Koo and Carmen Lee. And so I finished watching that, and I finished that yesterday, and that's another 32 episodes. And so when that finished, I really enjoyed watching that. I loved every second of it. But when it finished, I was like, oh no, now what do I do now? Like, what do I do? Like, I can't think of any other series that kind of go after that. So my friend Susie, when I posted on Facebook about watching Condor Heroes 2017, my friend Susie, she said you should watch Eternal Love, 10 Miles of Peach Blossom. And she said it's her favorite. And she said she loves watching the ancient Chinese series as well. And so I just saw the title and I noted it, but I didn't think much of it because I didn't know what it was. It sounded like a real romantic one. I really didn't know anything about it. But like yesterday when I finished my series and I wasn't sure what to watch next, I wanted something in the similar vein, like another I think they call it wuxia, Wuxia. I wanted one of those series. I couldn't. And I thought, well, I might as well try out this recommendation because whenever I've had recommendations in the past, they've usually been really, 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 really good. Like if people tell me like there's a good restaurant or something like that, I always check it out and like it's usually really fantastic. So I thought I'll give it a really good shot. So yesterday I just looked at the soundtrack of this show, just the soundtrack because I didn't want to watch it yet. I wanted to watch it today, like the day after. And let's just check out the soundtrack of it, right? There's a lot of soundtrack to it, but this is just one thing that came up yesterday. Wait, I'll just change it. It's just so nice. And like, when I was listening to this, I was getting really excited. I was thinking, if the soundtrack of this show is this good already, how good is the actual show? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, whoa. And then I started Googling just briefly, like I didn't want to know much about the plot. It's so cool. It's so nice, right? But I'll stop it. So you get the idea. It's fantastic. The soundtrack. But basically, I was just Googling about the show and like just briefly reading people's articles on like when I in Google and stuff, and people like get obsessed with this show. They love it so much, and it's like really popular. And I was like, well, that's kind of exciting. And so and then this is very, very long video, but it's fine. Yesterday when I told Susie on Facebook that I was going to start watching this show, another of my friends piped in, Catherine, and she said she's obsessed with this show. Like she swears by it. I'm like, that's a really big comment as well. So I got really excited. So I started watching it today at dinner time with my parents, and it blew me away. Like as soon as it started, it really grabbed my attention. Like the setting is so different to what I was expecting. Like all the series that I've watched in ancient China, they're just like set in ancient China, but this one is set in like in a fantasy world almost. Like I think they've created their own fantasy world with different gods and everything, like ancient Chinese gods, and they're like they're in heaven, and the main character's like an angel or something. It will take too long to explain the plot because the plot's really like I don't know how to explain it even, but let's just say there's gods, like there's the god of war and all this stuff, and like I don't even know, but it's fun. Like the main plot at the start is the main character, she's a girl, really pretty girl, really cute pretty girl, but she's being disguised as a boy so that she become a disciple of the god of war. for some reason, because I think it's because she's causing too much mischief and they just need her to be somewhere to kind of like keep control of her. And so that's it. And then there's just all this stuff, and like there's different factions and stuff. There's the Emperor of Heaven, and then there's like Ghost Tribe and stuff. It's just fascinating, really. But it's so fun, and like the acting of the main character, she's just so fun and cute, and it's really good. I don't know how to explain it. The way I described it in my Instagram post is like imagine you went to a restaurant of a cuisine that you'd never been to, like you had no idea what it was, and then you tried their signature dish and you just had a bite, and then your mouth just was like tastes all these flavors that you never knew existed before. And that's kind of like when I watched this show. Like I just have never seen a show with this combination of things in this setting quite like this. It felt so refreshing. Like I've seen a lot of fantasy stuff, but a lot of fantasy is kind of very stereotypical, elves, dwarves, that kind of stuff. They're based on Tolkien's kind of fantasy, Middle Earth. But this is a different type of fantasy, like I haven't seen before. And the show is so beautiful. Like when you watch it, it's just beautiful to look at. And the actors and actresses are beautiful too. And the music, like I said before, is fantastic. And I've watched 2 episodes and I can feel myself just falling in love with this show, right? Like it's just started. It's like when you're on a roller coaster and you're going up, like that's where I am now. I just feel like the more I watch this, I'm just gonna get really into it. There's 58 episodes, I think. And my friends were like telling me, Catherine was like, prepare for withdrawal symptoms when you're finished. And my friend Quinn messaged me commented on Instagram and said she's rewatched the show 3 times. That's 58 episodes is the show, and she's rewatched it 3 times. That's like 200 episodes or more. It must be really good. But I don't know, like when I was watching it, it was like, I don't know how to describe it. When I was watching it, it was like my eyes lit up, like my brain lit up. It was like, this is so cool. Like it's just like different and fun and like interesting, and like at the same time interesting things were happening, like people getting captured and things are happening. Oh, it was so cool. But I think I read that it's primarily a romance, so but I don't mind that. I've watched Korean dramas and they're usually focused on romance, so I'm fine with that. But I just wanted to make a video talking about how much I like this show after 2 episodes. And I don't know, in Australia it's on Netflix, so you can just type in Eternal Love, 10 Miles of Peach Blossoms. Another thing I want to say is this, I mean, if that's the title that they're going with, I find that really like cool that they can have a title so long. Like, I mean, you know what? I feel like this is my interpretation of it. It's like when you're really good, you don't even care what the title is. Like you could just put a really long title. You're not trying to make a title that is really easy for people to get onto. Like you don't care. You just know your show is so good that you could call it whatever you want. And because the first thing I thought about when I saw the title was like, the title's really long. And same thing as my mum and dad, when they saw the title, they were like, that's a really long title. That's the first thing they said. But I think what happened is it's either Eternal Love or 10 Miles of Peach Blossoms. But whenever I've been typing it or reading it, I've always been reading it as Eternal Love, 10 Miles of Peach Blossoms together. So it's like a super long title. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say. So yeah, I'll keep the video short. It's not short anymore, but I'll stop the video, and if you think you might like it, check it out maybe, because there's a lot of people who love this show. And I'm starting to like it a lot as well, so that's all I want to say. I probably will make another video when I officially love it, which probably won't be that long. Or when I finish the series, I just want to talk about it. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Bye.